Let's get ready to rumble. Oh, City Boys. The City Boys pod.
Milton Keynes, City Boys.
City Boys. Let's get ready to rumble. That's right, the Milton Keynes boys are back.
Oh, episode 36.
For our second episode sponsored by the Milton Keynes Council.
Milton Keynes Part 2.
Yeah, Milton Keynes Part 2. Yeah, second film that nobody wanted.
And this is literally like the classic Part 2 because this is the sadder version.
Oh my god, yeah, we're really going to delve into the characters and Milton Keynes in this one. And into all the views. That's right here on the Milton Keynes podcast. So everybody, once again, get ready for roundabouts, green spaces,
Concrete cows.
Underpasses.
And a lot of nice... Wait a second. There's plenty of people around Milton Keynes that are absolutely fantastic.
And you're going to find out all about them on this here. What's the episode? Which one?
It's episode 36.
36
of the JENKII'S Show. Oh yeah.
36.
Come on, baby. Episode 36.
Coming at you live from Milton Keynes.
From Milton Keynes.
Just get as many Milton Keyneses.
Oh my goodness.
Straight to begin with. Milton Keynes.
Come on. The JENKII'S.
And if you are listening in Milton Keynes or anywhere
Where else?
Anywhere in the country, and are thinking about coming to Milton Keynes because of this podcast, then you're going to want to follow if you're not already following. But
That's sure, if you're listening, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm sure all of you are. And you're also going to want to hit 5 stars.
Ooh.
If it's like Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can leave a little comment. I don't know if that matters. I don't think anyone really reads them. So say whatever you want in them. Your deepest, darkest thoughts, your deepest, darkest desires. Use it as a diary.
What you truly think of Milton Keynes. Just put it in the comments.
Yeah, what you really think of us, go easy. But, we're from Milton Keynes.
What your feelings too.
Yeah. And obviously tell everyone about it. But you might not be listening. You might have your bloody eyes glued to the old screen, baby.
And
what are you going to do?
If you are watching, then make sure you press subscribe. And when it comes up, ding, 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 hit the bell icon. Boom. Oh, yeah. Comment and times 2, tell all your friends, baby.
Just keep telling them, spamming them.
Just spam your friends, IRL.
Be that unbearable friend that can't stop talking about their latest favourite podcast.
Have you guys heard of the JENKII'S Show? It's really cool. From Milton Keynes.
That is how they all sound as well. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, the JENKII'S.
See, he's one of you guys.
Hey.
Milton Keynes, the JENKII, the show, episode 36. How do you want to bring us into Milton Keynes? Because, I don't have a classic segment quite yet.
Well, I think last week...
Let's hit him with it.
We did. Last week we said, would you rather vote Milton Keynes as the greatest city in the world?
I thought it was going to be applause.
Or the
we
most
love you.
depressing city of the world.
That's a tricky one.
And we have been debating this for a whole episode. Is Milton Keynes the greatest city in the world, or is it the most depressing city in the world? Last week, we just simply said it was the greatest city, and we talked about all the reasons why it was the greatest city.
Yeah.
And now, like most balanced debates, we're going to have to potentially talk about the negatives.
Boo. And don't forget that I did already say that it was the most depressing place in the world.
Yeah.
So
it already got voted the most depressing place.
A lot of people could say I went negative a little too early, but here we are. We're on my side now.
No cucking in that episode.
Yeah, now we're on... Oh, no.
Romantic.
Maybe I do love Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
What a nice shape.
What do you reckon of the birds in Milton Keynes?
There are beautiful women all over the world.
I agree.
So I don't think it's fair.
JENKII approves.
JENKII approves this message.
Ding.
We love you.
We love you, beautiful women all over the
Yeah,
world.
never judge a person by their city.
Yes.
That's what I always say.
Have you ever been judged for being from Milton Keynes? by a girl?
Oh.
I'm trying to think if I have.
Well, it maybe not necessarily me judged. However, even like today in a meeting, I was like, "Oh yeah, from Milton Keynes," and he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." Like it was something like that, and then we laughed about it. But it was one of those things like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you know
immediate negative aspersion?
Do you know the running joke about Milton Keynes has been running for a very long time?
About how bad Milton Keynes is?
Yeah, so comedians used to joke about it on Radio 4, and I'm talking like 70s.
Yeah.
It's always been a running joke that Milton Keynes is like a weird place.
Yeah, because I mean it is. It's always looked weird. They made it, and it looked weird for the time, and then ever since then it looked incredibly dated. It looks so weird when you go around it. I think that's why people act like it's kind of like a little bit scary and eerie, because it kind of looks like a deserted place from the past.
It looks like
sometimes.
Russia, kind of.
Yeah, it's really weird. And it really is grey.
Yeah,
well,
a concrete jungle.
Yeah, literally that phrase when I was doing podcast preparation in inverted commas. I don't know if you'd call it that.
We love you.
Guys. Preparation. There were loads of people saying that there's the view of Milton Keynes is basically that it's just one big concrete jungle. It's just like a grey splodge.
Yeah,
And I thought that's interesting because I think there's actually more trees than people.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up that, you grey. Yeah. But I kind of do see it because when I am in CMK, Central Milton Keynes, for those not in the know, then yeah, I am like, it is grey everywhere. All the buildings are grey, all the roads just grey. Can't escape.
It's really bizarre because it's like a forest with a heart of stone.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
what.
Oh my god, that's
literally
Milton
what
Keynes.
Yeah, because the heart is
Don't
just
let
like
the council hear it.
yeah.
We love you.
We love you, Milton Keynes. But yeah, it's just so bizarre because there's so much greenery, but it all just leads to this centre point, which is kind of vibey when you're like just going out for the first time. But
Yeah.
after you've done it 5 times, you feel like you've been everywhere.
Yeah, and I mean they do try. They put trees like between the roads and stuff. You know, standard stuff, but it just doesn't. For some reason, it doesn't hit.
Yeah.
Still feels really concretey, and I think it's because everything looks like
it's like all the bridges.
Yeah,
Concrete bridges. Concrete
bridges,
underpasses.
Yeah, and they've got like these massive mounds of. Yeah, I don't know.
And the
you kinda need
roads
to
are
be
all
there.
big, wide concrete roads. It's not like roads where you have like little, unless you go to like Bletchley and stuff.
Yeah,
But it's a bit different.
but yeah, that's different vibes.
Some people don't consider Bletchley Milton Keynes. Obviously it is, but like they say Milton Keynes is like just the surrounding areas, like the surrounding estates.
We may get into such topics depending on how we go today. But yeah, okay, so the people don't like Milton Keynes, and these are the reasons why.
These are the reasons why I.
Numero uno.
Oh. Okay, numero uno.
City boy!
And I'd just like to say that these points were put forward by ChatGPT.
Oh, these are not the opinions of the Junkie Show.
So Milton Keynes, this is really funny because last week one of the pros was that it had a really good grid system.
Oh yeah, which was a negative because it's horrible.
Yeah. So last week it was a positive, and this week Milton Keynes criticised for its urban planning.
Yep, 100%.
Features a grid road system and modern architecture that some find lacking in historical character, contributing to a sense of sterility.
Exactly. That the fact that like none of the housing, none of the building has character is because they built it all to look the same and all look quote unquote modern.
Yeah.
So there's nothing from the past in like central Milton Keynes. You do have to go to like Bletchley's and places like that to
surrounding boroughs.
Yeah, but because it is man-made, it's a bit like going to Dubai. There is a sense of this place is really weird because it's kind of only existed 20 years, and you can tell. You can just
like a
somehow
toy
tell
town.
that. Yeah,
It's literally a toy town.
and Milton Keynes is like Milton Keynes, the tiny Dubai. Yeah, that's what I guess. I've never really thought about it like that, but I think that is how to describe how like weird and soulless it is sometimes.
It's mini America,
Yeah, mini America.
but
And a lot of places in America are just soulless. because there's so many people there and so much land. So everything's so far from each other. It just looks like rows and rows of stuff, which is what it looks like if you go down central Milton Keynes. Rows and rows of like the same looking building, rows and rows and rows, cars. Yeah, so
it's like New York, but they just don't quite have the buzz. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, obviously, it's not really like New York either. But like,
it's pretty much like New York.
It's kind of like New York.
That
or Manhattan
is
or something. What am I thinking of? It's like where you just have like the boulevards and the roads.
Yeah, it's like Manhattan.
But just
CMK is like
small.
a tiny little, like 4-lane Manhattan, 4 square Manhattan block.
Yeah.
But
it's like something they just took a piece of Manhattan, chopped it in half, and then stuck it. Height-wise, chopped it in half,
and then just took everyone out of Manhattan. So there's like no one on the streets.
Yeah.
Because then there's this massive fuck-off indoor shopping centre, so... Classic MK.
Classic
We
MK.
love you.
That's why we love you. Okay, that's not an extra point against it. It's still 4-2 to the good.
And again, really, really funny if you think about last week's comments. One of them saying was like it had a really like thriving cultural diversity. And all of that.
Classic MK.
The city's design, while efficient, has been described as soulless by some, leading to a perceived lack of community and cultural vibrance.
Yep.
Which is kind of a point we kind of argued.
Yeah, that's more where I stand on that. Again, it's like much like sexuality, it is one big spectrum. And it's not like there's no communities in MK or there's no community feel, but it's pretty far down to that level. They don't even have like a football team that everyone supports.
Yeah,
like no one supports.
Bless the Dons, man.
Yeah, so...
I heard the stadium roaring, though, when I went to the gym on Saturday.
Roaring?
And I couldn't believe it. I got in my car and I was like, what is that? And I was like, oh my God, I can actually hear the football match. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't like miles away.
Right, yeah.
I was outside the stadium.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's the first time I've walked past and heard the stadium roar. And I was like, it actually felt good because it reminded me of being in Leicester when they were winning the league.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the
roar
score
must have
was.
been crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know. Hopefully Dons won at the weekend.
Is it hopefully? Do I want Dons to win? That's kind of tricky. Like, do I actively... Again, we may come onto that as well. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I actively want them
Technically,
to win.
they're my second team.
Really?
Watford and then Dons. Who would I support after Watford?
I would have thought Leicester, just from your time in Leicester.
I supported Leicester when I was in Leicester.
But I still have an affinity for Liverpool when I watch them play.
Yeah.
Because I kind of remember what it was like being in and amongst it.
I'd
and
say
going
Leicester
to
were
the
3
stadium.
then in that case.
Wow, they're
on the
behind
list.
Dons.
Yeah, I do feel like even though I probably watch Leicester more, only because they're on the TV more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I technically like if I ever saw Dons playing, of course I'd want Dons to win. I'd never be like no. If I saw Leicester playing, I would obviously also want them to win. But
I tell you what, neither Leicester or Milton Keynes city councils have paid that man to say that. I can attest to that. Milton Keynes
this
Council,
is truth.
If you weren't already listening to this immediately after you listened to the last episode, this is your man. This is the face of Milton Keynes right here. You just haven't realised it.
Imagine
Mr.
that,
Milton
Mr.
Keynes.
MK.
He's going to legally change his name to Milton.
Could you
Milton Johnson.
Could you imagine if like everything got like crazy big and I'd be like, how much does Milton Keynes cost?
Oh,
Can I
my
just do
God.
a Kanye West
And buy Milton Keynes?
Milton Keynes?
Wow.
Like what? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't... Would it
What?
be a shrewd investment? Apparently it is a booming economic hub.
Yeah, like
So, who knows? Could be.
yeah, it'd be so strange. Like, how would you even buy a city? Like, are you buying the land the city's on, or are you buying the rights to the council?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it like... Who's in charge of the counts?
Because the council,
Well, the
technically,
council
if you wanted to
probably-
change the infrastructure of the city, you need the council.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like, yeah, you'd have to buy almost like the land.
To do some, if you wanted to actually build buildings,
And
you would also
then-
have the rights to the land.
Yeah, because then the council have to come to you. So you're like you're the
Ah,
only
so
way
you-
that anything
so-
gets changed at that point.
So yeah, so you would have to have enough money to buy the land, and you'd also basically say to the council, "Look, I want this to happen, so it's happening." The council
Yeah.
wouldn't have anything against you at this point.
Yeah, you'd be like, this place is a booming economic hub, and I'm the biggest boom here now. So everyone else has to talk to you, the council, who then have to talk to me. I don't even have to bother with them. The council will bring you all the
Oh my
shop
god!
owners
So I'm like,
and
before you
stuff
talk to me,
queries.
go through my council.
Yeah,
God,
yeah. I
I'd be
literally have a council.
I'd be like an evil baron of Milton Keynes.
But you wouldn't work for good for Milton Keynes.
I would try my best, but this sounds like I'm like an evil dude.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you've just seen it there. This man who was once willing to die for Milton Keynes and changed his name to Milton Bean.
Milton Bean.
He is now
Mr. Bean. Milton
Mr.
Bean.
Beans. With an S.
Yeah.
Mr. Beans. Wow, yeah, great name. Okay, so come on, what's another reason you hate Milton Keynes?
So I guess this comes at number 3.
Oh, there's a lot of reasons.
And again, referring back to the last point, which was
Another reason we hate Milton Keynes.
well, what was it? It said one of the bonuses is that the grid system means that all of the traffic flows really nicely.
Oh yeah,
all of that.
That classic lack of traffic in Milton Keynes.
And then this one says the dependency on cars due to sparse public transportation might contribute to feelings of isolation. Some residents feel a disconnect, missing the cultural identity found in more traditional cities. So it's basically saying that the transport getting around Milton Keynes is a struggle.
Yeah, I would say that's probably true. There's like a pretty limited bus service from what I remember. Not that I've taken the bus in God knows how long.
Oh yeah, years.
But
oh my gosh, I remember when I last took the bus.
I remember
It was a great day.
yeah, God, I would have gone on the bus, taken the number 8 or something, gone up to
308. It became at one
308
point.
to Central Milton Keynes.
Yeah, oh, they were good days.
Straight to the Starbucks.
Yes.
And got one of those. What are they called?
Frappuccinos with like extra cream and salted caramel, or just caramel at the time on top.
You had all the gubbins on top, but no
Maybe
coffee.
get a Mackey's.
Yeah,
I think we used to be Mackey's kids back then.
Or you'd get something for lunch, like some Subways back in the day. I remember getting Subways at the Escape.
Oh,
Niche MK content. Yeah. Subways at the Escape. I had a meatball marinara.
That would be the funniest thing, right? So you'd obviously go shopping during the day, and obviously we couldn't drink at this point.
Yeah, and we couldn't really shop. Like we wouldn't buy that much.
Oh yeah, we didn't have that much money. Yeah. So you'd go up. You'd literally, basically maybe buy 2 or 3 t-shirts for a tenner. You'd have like £20 budget or something.
Yeah.
And then you'd maybe get a meal for like a £5. But then so you'd go shopping in like the Midsummer's Boulevard bit, the big long shopping hall.
Yeah, that's the main indoor, as long as the eye can see, shopping mall or whatever.
Yeah, and then get the food, or maybe walk across to the Escape, which is like an 8-minute walk.
Yeah, you have to go like under 2 or 3 roads in underpasses and stuff. That's the type of stuff we're talking about with community field. Going through all these underpasses.
3 underpasses to then
with
go
like
to the next
homeless
building.
people in them and stuff, and like you're like, oh man, this sucks. Man. I feel so bad. Like, fuck.
Oh yeah, I feel like I should be giving all my money away.
Yeah, and it's like, there's loads. They call it Tent City.
Tent City.
Is that on that list? The fact that people call MK Tent City. That's how many homeless people are there.
No,
booming economic hub. Tell that to those guys. Sick of it.
Did you want to hear the last one?
Yeah, go on, give me the last one.
We love you.
Limited historical landmarks or attractions may impact the overall ambience for those seeking a more heritage-rich environment.
Yeah, I mean, fairs. They got Bletchley Park, which is like a crazy piece of history, but it doesn't seem to be enough, does it?
No, and they've got these weird like statues around, very esoterical.
And they've tried to do like I remember there's something that in MK which is kind of like in Liverpool they had these dogs that were like made out of bananas, and they all looked like really similar, but they popped up all over the city, and MK tried to do something like that as well, but it just doesn't have like a artistic hub, and it's so hard to like just randomly start that because no one's like receptive to it or anything. They don't think about it. God, so that is like for all maybe. Those last 2 just pumped it up. So again, we're kind of where we started in that Milton Keynes is not the greatest nor the most depressing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of potential, and I reckon it's going places. But
Those places not the bin. Are they?
It's going to take work from the people within MK, that's for sure.
We're happy to work, baby.
Oh, we're working hard. We're working on it.
We're worker bees. This guy's going to be the face of MK before you know it.
That'd be so funny.
The voice of MK.
The voice of MK, oh my God.
Your voice would just blast out in a tannoy in the city centre saying, like, there's two for
Everyone
one.
inside.
Yeah, everyone inside. There's an
inside.
active gunman
On
out
your
there.
devices for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, wow.
That'd be so scary.
Some totalitarian JENKII'S.
Yeah. What's it, 1984?
Yeah, 19 JENKII'S.
19 JENKII'S.
19 JENKII'S. Well, you know what? We love Milton Keynes, and we like to shout out the Keeners and the Beaners, but not everyone does. And sometimes when we shout them out, the people have a little bit to say.
Ooh.
Now, I think if they've got something to say, let's hear it.
Yo!
Come on, the long-awaited return of the fan favourite. And we've got a comment here that says,
JENKII'S Comment Corner.
that's right, we want to hear all the things that you
Come on,
say.
JENKII'S.
JENKII'S Comment Corner.
That's right, guys, we want to hear all the things. What you got to say?
JENKII'S Comment Corner.
Don't forget to leave a comment.
That's right, guys. Oh, yeah. Hi, it's a me and Mario. Hey, it's a me and Mario. It's a me and Mario. It's a me and JENKII'S. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Oh, wow. Here we go. Starting out now.
Come on.
What the comments got to say? So much content every day. Come on.
That's right. Welcome to JENKII'S Comment Corner, Milton Keynes edition.
Oh.
Because we did, the context for all of this is we did a TikTok where AJ described his perfect Milton Keynes night out. And the people, some agreed, some didn't. Some just took it as an opportunity to share their general thoughts on Milton Keynes, I would say. Let's hop straight in. Hey?
We love you.
A quick
We love you, Milton Keynes.
And our first comment here from Josh. He said, "We got a Milton Keynes podcast before GTA 6."
Oh.
That's right, we're the Milton Keynes podcast, baby.
Love to hear it.
Dom also chimed in and said, "Not the Milton Keynes podcast."
That's so funny.
So we've been anointed by the public, the Milton Keynes podcast. But that made me think. I actually wrote a note here. We said, are there a lot of podcasts that just talk about the city they live in? Like, is there a Manchester podcast or a Liverpool podcast or something?
That's true.
I feel like there isn't. So we're the first of a new breed.
Could be the city cast.
Oh my god!
So
And then we'd actually have our boys at the Milton Keynes City Council. They'd be like, "You're the boys from Milton Keynes."
we'd get guests on from London, guests on from Manchester, guests
Oh,
on from
and they can
Liverpool.
talk about their city, and we can talk about
the
how
city experiences.
And we can talk about how insanely different Milton Keynes is, because it really
Yeah.
is like nowhere else. So the kind of disparity between someone from Leicester talking about what it's like
Yeah.
to someone talking about Milton Keynes, crazy. That right here on the Milton Keynes podcast, as Dom says. Big Man Sam also said, "How am I on Pink Punters Talk?"
Oh,
So we're the Pink Punters boys.
Punters talk.
Come on.
Come on, Pinks.
We love you.
We love you.
Yeah,
Pinks.
we love you. Shout out Pinks for people outside Milton Keynes. Pink Punters is a LGBTQ plus nightclub and the only one worth fucking going to.
Yeah,
literally
it's-
the only nightclub worth a damn.
And it actually is good though.
Yeah,
it
it's
doesn't.
good.
That doesn't mean it's a bad nightclub. I actually
No.
think it is really good.
I think it's good. Yeah, people. To be fair, I've been in like the line for Pinks, and the people have come from
Yeah.
all over. I remember talking to a girl who would come down from Newcastle
Yeah. Just for
to
a
go to
Pinks experience.
and I was like, holy shit, Pinks is. It used to rock. You used to be able to get poppers over the
Yeah.
counter. For anyone who goes to Pinks, try and get poppers over the counter. I wonder if they do that.
They used to have shared bathrooms.
Yeah,
Used to
yeah, it
have-
rocked.
Oh
I
my
can't
god,
believe they
it used to be
don't have
less
that now.
strict.
Yeah, and it was able to be less strict because like the bouncers and stuff were probably a lot strict back then because it had to be like a safe space for everyone. So they didn't have to have as many rules because no one really went out of line.
Yeah.
And they have like their own little restaurant in there as well.
Yeah, it's like
For-
diner.
Yeah, you get some munchies before you even go home.
That'd be so. That used to be Koch.
People used to cotch out hard
Yeah.
there. It's like 4
Kebab
a.m.
and
Oh yeah, and
chips.
it's open
Till like 5
late.
in the morning.
Yeah, late. And on like weekends, it's like 6 or whatever. It's crazy. Okay, so Big Man Sam, you are on Pink Punters Talk. A lot of people in the clip, AJ says a proper MK-ting, right? And you saying MK-ting really got people talking.
Really?
Yeah, there was one of my favourite ones. I can't remember if I put it on here, but someone put MK-ting, crying face, whopper.
Whopper.
People thought I think people didn't realise that when you're using ting, it's like ironic.
Yeah.
Like that's how we would talk ironically.
Yeah.
But obviously here, so everyone's like, why's this guy with his accent? They're randomly going like, proper MK ting. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm like speaking like normal, like not from Milton Keynes, or not too street, and then I just randomly come out with ting.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of MK ting lol. A lot of people just writing MK ting.
MK
Just
ting.
dumbfounded at you saying MK ting.
Oh, so funny.
So here we've got a few rectifications to our best night out, basically.
Oh, okay, interesting.
So you obviously said it was Broughton.
So I said like basically pubs
Yeah.
/ Broughton. That's because it's close to us.
Yeah, good example.
And then into Spoons.
Into Spoons, Moon Under.
And then either Moon Under.
Yeah, and then either
At the Escape.
Revs or Pop World.
Then Revs or Pop World. Then Pinks.
Then get to Pinks for your grand finale. You know, you want a climax. Maybe metaphorically, maybe literally.
Literally.
But here we go. XX Jake Space XX said, nah, mate, eager poet for your prees.
Fairs. If you lived in that area, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
and then Unit 9 for a D&B night, baby.
Ah.
The boys are back talking about D&B.
We love
To be
you.
fair, that's a filthy
That's a
send.
filthy send. Jake, I love it, but I also kind of hate it because I felt like yours was, you could do that night out any weekend, any day of the weekend, and you're going to get roughly the same experience. Whereas Unit 9
less of a
probably aren't
journey.
putting on a D&B night every night. This is like a specific night. Yeah, that is obviously going to be better.
Yeah, your Unit 9 is just like a hard dance venue.
Yeah, so what? Okay,
they
so
do a lot of D&B.
Okay, Jake, I love it then. If they're doing D&B every night of the weekend,
They probably do
that probably would be a
They probably do it like
sick night in comparison.
I'd say they probably do it 30-40% of the time.
Oh,
And maybe like
yeah. But you can't get it
Hard
every night
House.
all the time. It's not a D&B night, as he said here.
So
Or is that just every
they
night?
do a lot of D&B nights.
Okay, Jake, you know what? I don't hate it. But I think the one that comes up next, this has a few little bits. Again, Ella here said, nah, it's
fam.
Unit 9. So she still wants it in. But if nothing's on there, it's New Weatherspoons, then Pop World, then Pink Punters.
Yeah, New
Revs
Spoons
is always dead.
is the Spoons I'm talking about.
Yeah, what's New Spoons?
Old Spoons is the one
That's-
next to the Mediterranean place.
That's called Moon Under, right?
Moon Under is New Spoons.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know there was another spoon, so I just
Yeah.
assumed that one was old.
Yeah, no, so yeah, Old Spoons is,
Old Spoons.
it's like you're walking down towards the train station and it's on your right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
know
It's
that
meant
road?
I think it's meant to be the oldest in the country or something.
Oh,
So
shit.
talk about MK not having any heritage. Boom, MK
Spoons.
5-3. eHop7 says hub to theatre district via a walk in the piss rain. And then if you dare, Pop World can just do the hub really, bounce and then happy hours. Well, eHop7, that actually does sound like a way more accurate Milton Keynes night out, but you're looking at it with a half glass empty. You know, I prefer these other people. Sorry, eHop, but come with some positivity for the boys. And then let's get Callum in it quick.
Go on, Callum.
Callum says, bruv, Revs is still dead. What are you on about? Thanks,
Bruv.
Callum. Sorry, bruv, but
Yo,
Revs is not as dead as everyone makes it out in MK.
don't
I'm not
talk to
saying
me
everyone
about
else.
Revs things, all right?
Don't talk to me about Revs things. Don't talk to man.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically the people, you know, we're going to leave it there, but we are going to come back because a lot of you had a lot of stuff to say. So We'll be back, baby, on the next episode.
Next week on MK Part 3.
Oh, MK Part 3
The
on
trio.
this. And that will be episode
37
of the
JENKII'S Show. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow, comment, and rate 5 stars.
And come back to JENKII'S Comic Corner.